So today will be a little different. This is nice and short, so I felt like the kids would have the stamina to read the whole thing, write their notes, and then talk. Today I broke it into sections because it's longer.
Okay.
So the first section is really short. I'm going to have the kids read the section. They'll mark the text as they read. They have a bookmark that has ways to code
That's
the
what I
text.
was if they had
Alright.
coding ways. Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of kids don't really use it anymore. We started using it in September. But if they need it, I always remind them it's there for them. So they're going to read a small portion today for the first section, and then they'll talk, and hopefully they'll be intrigued and be a little more willing to read the rest. Today, I'm going to start by talking about the 4th of July to kind of get them thinking about, this was a speech. It was given at a 4th of July celebration. And then things are going to go all wrong once they read it. But,
Right.
But so I think they'll be interested in, oh, this is something I'm familiar with, the
Right.
4th of July celebration.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, but
I don't know.
What I don't know this either.
Frederick Douglass was asked to speak at a 4th of July celebration, and he accepted, but he accepted to say that the slaves in the United States cannot celebrate. This is not a day of celebration. And he goes through all the reasons why. Even though in the past my kids have been interested in social studies because I try to tell it like a story.
Right.
Like you wouldn't believe,
Right.
you know,
Right.
all that little affect. But I just didn't like it. And I spent more time and more energy on the other things.
Oh, okay.
So, but after the class, I learned so much. And I learned more about really the proper way to teach social studies. I enjoy reading the primary documents. I love knowing the backstory because you always understand what the basics from the textbook. But if you don't go any further, you really don't know the backstory. And the kids are interested in the backstory.
As far as like Common Core teaching, what have you noticed about your teaching this year that you would attribute to, trying to incorporate the Common Core or understand it?
I guess just trying to increase the rigor. I think I always tried to push the kids, but now I'm trying to push them in different ways. Before, we would have read this together instead of having the kids read it on their own and comment on their own. Also, before, I generally have in-class resource kids, so we spent a lot of time reading all the textbooks together.
Okay.
So now they read it themselves. We have a little system for writing notes where they try not to have more than 4 words in a bullet point, so that they're not copying directly from the text. They have to kind of make sense of the information and write it in a shorter form.
Yeah, so in a sense you're trusting them to read more themselves.
Yes, but we always come back together to talk
For
about
closure,
what they discovered. Even today, they came together and shared their notes, and if something was missing, a student who didn't have something that was important could write it down.
How are
So it's
kids
kind of
reacting
collaborative.
to that?
They weren't so happy about it at first
Okay.
because I think they felt like it was my job to just tell them everything and give them all the information. I think they're more accustomed to it.
Okay.
I think they wouldn't mind going back to the other way. I think
It's
they would-
easier,
they would-
right?
Yes,
It's
it's
easy.
easier.
Tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's been one of the big things too with the Common Core is that it doesn't really speak very much about, okay, well, how do you bring this rigor to where students are, especially students that, are on IEPs or special needs students or struggling readers, how to bring it to them, but also increase the rigor. So what have you noticed about that, working with your students with IEPs?
Well, all except for one student, they really kind of have embraced it. They want to do well. They want to understand, and it has really helped in terms of their reading levels. They've grown quite a bit over the course of the year.